Old Pokemon games carry immense nostalgic value and are often viewed through a thick masterpiece filter, but looking back, they featured several frustrating mechanics that severely disrupted the core gameplay experience. First, the ubiquitous random encounters constantly interrupted exploration and story progression. Catching specific Pokemon relied purely on blind luck, and even if you used repels, they were timed by steps and required tedious inventory management to repeatedly reapply. While modern titles like Scarlet and Violet resolved this by introducing overworld encounters, the older system felt like pure torture during long travels. Second, forced NPC battles were inescapable. Simply walking into a trainer's line of sight immediately triggered a fight. In dense areas like villain bases or Victory Road, this meant battling every few steps and enduring repetitive dialogue that completely drained players' time and pacing. Newer titles finally give players the freedom to choose when to engage. Third, competitive breeding before Generation 6 was an agonizing grind. Without modern quality of life items like nature mints or ability patches, and with no way to intuitively view IVs, hatching a perfect 5V or 6V Pokemon took dozens of hours. Veteran players who claim to miss this challenge often forget the original pain, relying instead on emulator speedups to bypass the tediousness. Fourth, battle intros were agonizingly slow and functioned as actual time assassins. Games like Black 2 and White 2 took nearly 10 seconds just to load a battle menu, while Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon reached a terrifying 13 seconds. Even longer if max friendship animations or abilities like Intimidate triggered. This constant waiting wore down players' patience, making the snappy 5-second transitions in recent entries feel like a massive relief. Fifth, single-use TMs and outdated experience mechanics forced players to cautiously hoard valuable moves like Thunderbolt, since obtaining them again was extremely difficult. Additionally, the X-Beater's share originally only benefited one Pokemon at a time, leaving the rest of the party underleveled and forcing players into massive, meaningless stat grinds just to face the Elite Four. Sixth, party management was highly inconvenient because swapping Pokemon required running all the way back to a Pokemon Center PC. This made side quests and trading incredibly tedious, a stark contrast to the convenient portable boxes available anytime and anywhere in newer titles. Finally, the heavy reliance on hidden machines, HMs, meant players were forced to waste one or two valuable party slots on dedicated HM mules. These Pokemon had to learn weak but strictly necessary moves like Cut, Surf, or Waterfall just to navigate the map, essentially robbing players of the freedom to build their ideal combat teams. It wasn't until Sun and Moon introduced the Ride Pokemon system and Sword and Shield completely abolished HMs that this decade-long burden was lifted, allowing the franchise to truly return to the pure fun of collecting and battling without the tedious roadblocks of the past.